This is the Parenting IQ podcast, where our mission is to equip you during your child's academic years to bring learning to the daily little moments. I'm your host, Dr. Kelly Cagle, and I want to welcome you to Season 4, Little Moments, Big Impacts. Hey, lifelong learners, it's Season 4 of the Parenting IQ podcast. We have a really special year planned for you. Yes, I said year. We are not breaking for the summer. So make sure that you subscribe right now, wherever you're listening, Spotify or Apple. And then if you're watching at our YouTube channel, Dr. Kelly Cagle, you'll see that the chair next to me is empty. Josh, my co-host from last season, isn't here. However, don't worry. He'll come in and out of the studio. I've got an amazing lineup of speakers coming your way. I guarantee you don't want to miss it. And here's what this whole season is going to be about: the little moments that have the big impact. So that's the title of Season 4, Little Moments, Big Impacts. You're going to have a variety of episodes where some of them will be just me teaching, where I'll present research or things the Lord's teaching me. You know that there are lessons that I am learning every single day, including what I'm going to talk about today. Don't worry. I don't have these things mastered. I'm right here in the middle of it with you, but I'm walking alongside you as we use these daily moments, you guys, right? Doesn't matter where we are, there is always an opportunity for growth, not just for our kids, not only as parents, but also in our marriage, like we talked about during Season 3, Josh and I did, but also in your personal life and in your walk with the Lord. So here we are, Season 4. I want to ask you, if you haven't subscribed yet to Apple or Spotify, wherever you're listening, click that button right now. If you're on YouTube, I also have a special announcement for you. We are releasing something super exciting this year in 2024, where I'll be doing little short teaching videos here and there that you can also learn about these little moments and big impacts. So it won't just be the Parenting IQ episodes that are on there. So make sure that you head over to YouTube and subscribe to that, so you can also get those teaching short videos. Now, here's what we're going to talk about today: the little moments that have big impacts in our lives in regards to habits. It's a new year. Everybody's talking about habits. There are a lot of people. I did a poll the other day on Instagram asking people, are you this like person that's new year, new me? Or are you just kind of like, hey, it's just another day? And it blew my mind because it was split down the middle. I had both people, which this isn't to judge if you're one person or the other person, but here's what I want to say. Habits are really important for the later person, not even just the now. Not even you don't just benefit from setting habits, establishing habits today. Your tomorrow person will also benefit from whatever habits you establish. I want to unpack that a little bit today about habits. You guys know that I'm an English learner. I'm originally from Brazil. If you're new around here, when I moved to America at 11 years old, I didn't speak any English. So I walked around with a paper dictionary, like literally in my backpack. I had a dictionary, a Portuguese and English dictionary, and I busted that out all the time. Well, now I have the dictionary.com app, which I use every day. So we're going to start with a definition. I went to the dictionary and I said, what are habits? What does the word habits mean? And here it is. Dictionary.com defines habits as an acquired behavior pattern regularly followed until it has become almost involuntary. Let's unpack that a little bit. Okay, first of all, I have 3 points I'm going to make here. Habits are learned. From that definition, habits are learned. They're acquired. The second one is habits are continuously practiced. The definition says regularly followed. So they're learned, they're practice. And then the third thing is that habits still require a little effort. The definition says it's almost involuntary. It doesn't say that it becomes involuntary. It says it's almost, which means you still have to choose every day to do that action or to do that task. So, with that being said, I want to give you some examples in my personal life that, again, I don't have these things mastered because it still takes a voluntary part on me. I still have to choose to do these things. Some days I do them really well, other days, not so much. But here's what I want to talk to you about today: productivity, habits that have helped me with productivity. I read something several years ago that said, if a task takes less than 1 minute, do it right away. Here's an example. If you walk by and there's the pair of shoes that you just took off whenever you came in your house and you're headed to the bathroom, if that task of getting your shoes and walking them to your closet and putting them away takes less than 1 minute, do it. What happened? I put away the shoes, my house is more organized, and I just got something done. That is a habit. If a toy, if a Lego piece is sitting on the ground, you know that if you step on that, it's really going to hurt. You have two options. You either pick it up and put it away, or you ask your child, hey, here's a Lego piece. Can you pick it up and put it away? That task just took less than 1 minute, but it benefited your now, which will also in turn help benefit your future self, that when you look, you're not going to step on the Lego piece. The shoes are put away. It's a win-win. So if a task takes less than 1 minute, do it right away. The second one, if a task requires deep focus. So for example, if you are reading your Bible, if you are reading your book, if you are, I don't know, for me, for example, like I write, right? And so as I'm writing, that requires deep focus. Well, y'all know my kids are at home. You know that my phone is constantly buzzing. You know, my emails are ringing in. You know, there's all these distractions. Life, I'm at home, I've got dishes, all the things, all of these distractions. But if a task requires deep focus, I put my phone on do not disturb. So when I do my writing sessions, my phone goes on do not disturb, which also puts my computer on do not disturb, and off I go. I tell the boys if they come in, I say, hey, I'm writing real quick. And they know I'm not supposed to interrupt mom. Do I always do that, y'all? Please. No, I don't. Sometimes I'm distracted, check Instagram, or the kids come in and they really need something. There's a bloody nose. Okay, those are exceptions to the rules, but it still takes that choice for me to set my phone on do not disturb so I can focus, so I can give that attention to the task. Another one, I've started this habit this year of having a designated time where I tend to my emails. You know, you have a whole bunch of emails that buzz in, all these sales, all these deals. Costco's trying to come and get you to buy their latest gadget that they have in their store. I have business emails that come in. Here's the thing. Those things are trying to distract me from the tasks that I need to get done during the day. So I have learned that if I leave a designated window to respond to these emails, I will know, hey, I'm not just shoving this under the rug. I will come back to it when it's time, when my time set is for me to respond to those emails. So those three things are simple habits that I have been learning, that I have been practicing, that I still continue to choose every single day that help me with productivity. Now, what about house chores? I did something a while back. I want to say probably 5 years ago that I set aside designated days for laundry. The thing is that laundry never ends, just like the dishes. There are always dirty socks. If you live in that household, especially lately, we had this snowstorm here in Texas or wherever you live in the wintertime, layers and layers and hats and all of the gloves. Everything is everywhere. If I didn't have a designated laundry day, I would always have laundry to do every day, which then would mean that there will always be clothes to fold, which then would mean there would be always clothes to put away. That constant thing, I have designated days now that I do laundry. That way, on the other days, I don't even think about laundry. I know that I will get to those to that house chore on the designated day. And that has really brought peace on the days that are my off days from laundry. And it's a habit that has been helpful for me. Here's another one: recruit the kids, get them to come and help you with these chores. What you are doing when you do that is helping them understand that the home where they live, it takes everyone to pitch in to keep it organized, to keep it livable, to keep it where it's not overwhelming for anybody, to keep it comfortable. It takes everybody pitching in. All of the chores, whether inside your home, outside your home, in the garden, picking weeds, dusting the fans, making their beds, putting clothes away, all of those things, yes, Josh and I could do ourselves. However, we wouldn't be teaching our kids good habits to whenever they have a home of themselves, whenever they get married and they are husbands and they have to pitch in, because it's not all up to the mom. Mom can't do everything. And so whenever it comes to those house chores, recruit your kids. You're teaching them very good habits by including them in the process. Now let's go back and continue to talk a little bit more about kids and habits. Here's what I want to say. It's never too early to start forming habits. It's never too early. It doesn't matter how old your kids are. You can teach them to, whenever you're potty training a little boy, teach them that the seat goes down. The seat goes down. And what is that? You are helping them understand good manners, that habit of putting the seat down. Now, something else with that is you can include them in the process too by asking questions. For example, whenever you think about their closets, you have your closet set a certain way, right? You have your own habits of what you do with your clothes, how you organize your shoes, where your socks and undies go. It's your closet. It works well with your brain, with how you operate. You are not your kids. And lately, in fact, last time that I decluttered their closet or that I cleaned out their closet, I had Levi do it all when it comes to his closet. The littles I still do because they're young and they're learning, and I'm teaching them what good habits look like in the closet. But then Levi, who is 12, he kind of knows what his preferences are. He knows what he uses the most. He knows he has this armoire where he's got drawers and he can organize things himself. So you know what I did? I said, okay, Levi, go for it. You decide what you want. As far as where you want your things to go, your soccer gear to go and all those things. I started asking questions. And what I saw is that, through asking questions, it created independence in his life. He really felt like, wow, this is my room. I can do this myself. Not only that, it led to autonomy, which is a sense of pride, a sense of ownership, that his voice mattered, that I was willing to back up and let him do it his way. And so he loved it. And he has been able to maintain his closet because it's in a way that works for him. Titus, who is 7, tells me, hey, Mom, I know that you taught me about how the shirts go. I kind of really struggled to put it back in that order, the shirts in that order, and I said, buddy, it doesn't matter as long as you know where the shirts are. So what did that show me? Is that although I saw a certain pattern for his clothes that made sense to me, to my mind, how it looks like in my closet, didn't make sense to Titus. Okay. He's a different person. He has a different intelligence than I do. He ticks differently. So creating that autonomy for them, it's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be my way as long as it makes sense to you and as long as you are being responsible and taking care of your things. I want to warn you about something in regards to setting habits. And really, these are my closing remarks here. Avoid including punishment or nagging or threatening when it comes to helping your kids with habits. Even when you're trying to hold them accountable, remember that in the definition in the very beginning of dictionary.com, I said that habits they still take effort, right? It's not just second nature. It still takes thought, it still takes effort for you to choose to do it. With kids, just because they forgot to do something or they forgot to do something, you can remind them. You can be their accountability partner, their accountability buddy in a friendly way. Just because they didn't do something, a punishment doesn't mean that you get to take away a toy or take away their screen time just because they didn't make their bed. Or nagging, something like, of course you forgot to do it. You hate doing this chore. Even though I ask you to take care of your dog, you never fill up the water bottle. That's nagging. Do you want to be reminded in that tone of voice? What about threatening? If you don't do this, you're not going to get to do that. These three things, guys, listen, I'm not saying that those are things that I have mastered myself, but they are things that I have seen the fruit of my tone, of my speech, of my delivery with my kids if I ask them in a kind, gentle tone. They are way more willing to pitch in. They even apologize sometimes, or it's not, I'm not trying to take the credit for an apology. That's not what it's after. But whenever you do things gently and kindly, their response is way more welcoming. And remember that in these little moments that I just talked about, all of these different things, that's life happening every day. These are the little moments that add up to habits being learned, continuously practiced, and then they still require a little effort. All of that will have a big impact in how you live life, in your future person, for your future kids, who they become as adults, and all together as a family. All right, lifelong learners, I hope that you feel more equipped to bring learning to everyday little moments, and I will see you next week.